Hey, everybody. Hey, Scott, how are you today?
Oh, just lovely today.
Just welcome to KD Live, everybody. We got Scott and Dwayne today. Going to be talking a little bit about the our KD VW 4x4 Pro, our little single rack unit, 4 in, 4 out video wall processor.
And they might have also noticed that we do not have the world famous Jonathan Ferry on board, so it's only 2 windows, not 3 windows today. So
Yep.
Jonathan's out doing some R&R today, most likely doing those.
Well deserved R&R, I might add.
And he's probably doing those video shoots that you see over your right-hand side there.
Close to it. Close to it, that's for sure. The top one, anyway. Oh,
Right.
well, Scott, tell us a little bit about the VW 4x4.
So I'm going to jump into this. So we're going to do a joint sharing here. Hold on 1 second.
We certainly hope everybody's doing well out there. And here we go. Here comes the screen share.
And of course, they always put that banner exactly in the way that you need it.
You're right there. That's it. No, you had it.
Yep.
Click it.
The toolbar for the other things in the way.
Slide. There you go. You got it. Click there.
That's the perfect reasoning for the live aspect. All right. So we'll just kind of do a little rundown real quick. We put together a couple slides on this real fast just for our video wall processor. And
why don't we, Scott, we'll just kind of alternate pages and then comment on each other's presentations. How's that sound? That sounds like a train wreck waiting to happen. Let's do it.
Exactly.
We'll do it live right here.
Yep, we got to make Jonathan proud. All right.
Job security for Jonathan.
Exactly. Yep. So just a brief overview real quick on our video processor and our VW 4x4 Pro. Basically, a similar slide that we use here for our webinars. So we're taking multiple screens and taking one source and giving ourselves a unique layout. So a 4x4 in a horizontal position, a vertical position, etc. With our 4x4 Pro is we have 4 inputs, 4 outputs. On the bottom part of the slide, I'm not sure if you guys can actually see my mouse moving around or if you can see it, is we could do standard 4x4 in a similar grouping. We can go
2x2.
Sorry.
The product name is a little confusing. It's 4 in, 4 out, but 2x2.
Exactly. So we got a 2x2 in a couple different positions here. So we do actually have a couple different presets on that unit, but any of you guys are doing standard matrix still, a lot of guys are converting over to AV over IP, is we still have the overall solution for a standard 2x2 video wall that we could utilize our 4x4 Pro. In our slide here, we're showing a couple different examples. Our MC1000, where we can actually add some additional control to it using our compass control, which we got to do a separate one on that one, Dwayne. It reminds me, I keep on thinking about it over and over again. That's one thing we haven't done on Coffee with Key or KDLIVE is our compass control, which Absolutely. Is a huge added value to our products itself, along with the KD app.
But I will mention that compass control, while it's shown here, is not required. You can do most of the setup right off the front buttons and etc. But with compass, you can then make changes on an iPad. It's very handy.
Utilizing our wonderful free KD app. So we're just going to kind of cruise through these slides real quick. So a couple different applications for video processor, video walls, etc. Digital signage. We're going to show you a good example of that. Bar and restaurant, conference room, sports theater. I mean, there's so many different applications for video processors and video walls. I think a lot of people don't even realize what you know, a normal consumer could walk into a store and say, well, that's kind of a cool TV, not knowing it's 4 potential TVs or one big LED wall broken out with a processor showing a video wall application.
Now this is actually showing a different product than our VW 4x4. This is our MLV 4x2 Pro, which is actually what you can see over my shoulder that I'm using here to show. I've got actually 3 images across there on that. So not sure why we have that slide in here, but it's another great product, single rack unit.
Oh, I just noticed that. And this is our fearless leader supplied us with this overall example. Well, maybe Jonathan's watching, but he's not going to tell us.
He did that to us on purpose. Well, here's a great example here of how you can use our AV over IP to take our VW 4x4 and then send it out to multiple 2x2 video walls. So here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 video walls, so 24 screens, but we're only feeding, you know, with actually technically one source is feeding all of these, not necessarily 4 sources. And we're going into the VW 4x4 with our source, putting it in 2x2 configuration, and then sending that out through, you know, 4 different transmitters so that each source can, or each output can be put into the matrix. And then you choose the video wall on the receiver side. And so you can do that. You can show, you know, while that shows all of the video walls having the same source, you could have technically have different things in there. So this shows how you combine technologies.
See what the next surprise slide is. All right, now we're VW 4x4.
Yeah, so here you can see a couple of different examples. And we'll talk about bezel adjustment here in a little bit. You can see how that top one looks a little funny. And we'll talk about that here in a couple of images, but different examples in visitor centers, you know, public spaces. Everybody's seen the video walls now. The nice thing about the VW 4x4 Pro, as long as you need to keep it just to 4 screens, it's a great out of the box solution. So go ahead and go to the next slide. Let's go ahead and skip this one.
Yeah, for anyone that's watching, we have multiple super long presentations for webinars and everything else that we do for other people. But here is a great picture of the front of the 4x4 Pro. Okay.
Yeah, and so as Scott mentioned earlier, you've got 8 different modes of video walls. Also, we can do 4x4 matrixing. It is seamless switching when you're doing the matrixing. And then panel flip and bezel adjustment, we're going to talk about here in just a minute. As well as, I don't know if we pointed that out, the inputs can be HDMI or VGA. It's still out there. We'd like it to go away, but it's still out there. And the nice thing is it scales the VGA up to full HDMI quality. And again, KD app ready as many of almost all of our products that allow IP control, you can control free with our KD app. And you not necessarily Compass, but Compass makes it even more robust. Okay, next slide. Here's a good example of, you know, if you're a dealer and you're buying from you know, distribution, it's $1,750, retail $2,500. It's amazing. And so here's for signage, corporate, retail, bar and restaurant, a lot of bar and restaurants. Matter of fact, Scott, I just came off a call just before we went live with a dealer who had sold like 2 of these in the last week. One was a bar and restaurant, one was a bar, and the other was a church. So one extreme to the other. They fit all applications in between, and it's just. He said, we like it because it's simple and the staff can use it, the personnel can use it very easily.
One thing I'm seeing as a lot of these outdoor restaurants are bringing things back inside, especially in the shore area where I'm located here in Jersey, is as the dealers and everything else have planted seeds out there, when they're bringing the TVs back in because they were out in the covered tents for the outdoor dining, is now they're bringing things in and saying, hey, remember that video wall that we talked about? They're going through and just, you know, I see more and more. I got 2 projects right now with 2 different guys that are going through, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to take those 4 TVs. We're going to make a video wall now. So it's been interesting.
Well, here's a great example here. This is our panel flip. So if you you know, if you want to be a little more cost effective, and so you're getting TVs that, you know, yeah, they got the top, side, and sides, the bezel's pretty thin, but the bottom is a little thicker. Well, we can do panel flip in a 2x2, and you can flip the top 2 upside down, and you just set that for panel flip within the software by just connecting right to the unit, and you can see how you can panel flip. And then here the bezel is adjusted as well to cut out the video where the bezels actually are, to make that look normal. And we'll see that here in a minute on the next slide, I believe.
Yeah, and like a good example here, highlighting all Samsungs across that board have their logo below, and a lot of computer monitors too, where guys are doing like a little 32-inch computer monitor and they're flipping back and forth, and they just are like, hey, what am I going to do here? Because it doesn't line up and there's a huge gap.
Exactly. So here's the bezel adjustment. So you can see on the left, that's if you don't do any kind of bezel adjustment, and you notice his face is split apart because where the nose stops, it starts on the other side. But here we can go ahead and cut that out to where the part that would be showing if you didn't have bezel, it's just a clean look on the right. And that's all right there inside the package as well. Here's the different formats that you can use, and we've got a video we're going to show here in a little bit of the 1x3, and so you can do 1x4 video walls. You can do the 2x2 as we discussed. You know, 2x1s. You can actually do 2 2x1s together or 2 1x2s together because you have 4 outputs. So you can do 2 separate video walls with 2 different sources. So you can have, instead of it showing the mirrored, it could be 2 different sources. One playing on one 1x2 video wall, one on the other. And it's just pretty amazing. Usually when you use these video walls like this, it's kind of a set and forget. And we'll show you that here in a live, actually not live, but a video that we have of an actual install here in a little bit.
Let's see what the next one is.
And that's right now. So
yep, I'm going to jump over to your video because this video is.
I'll take it.
Now, real quick, switching over.
Tell me when I'm there.
You are there. Let me just highlight this.
So now I realize going over Zoom and Facebook Live, it might be a little jumpy. This is a grocery store where they've got a big grab and go section. You can see they're doing the 1x3 video wall. They're actually feeding our VW 4x4 processor with a digital signage player. It just creates the video. They do squeeze it back down into a 16:9 format, which makes it look really funny if you play it straight into a single screen. But once you put it back to our processor, you can see it looks amazing across 3 screens. And when you walk into this store, it just grabs your attention from the front door. The manager just absolutely loves it, and they can change this through their digital signage platform within minutes, and it sits there and runs all the time the store's open, and they put these in every one of their new locations, so it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, like you're saying, most of the signage stuff is set it and forget it, firing it up, turning it on, and then going through, so then it just becomes a workhorse where it's just going.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video and stop the share and let you get back to it.
All right, let's see where we left off here.
Scroll on down.
Yeah, I'm just going to whip through the rest of these slides.
The other one right after that. Yeah, that one there.
And of course, it's not extending.
The wonders of live. Resume slideshow.
Exactly. So we can still see a little bit of the layout here. I'm just trying to get this full screen. But one of the probably the most impressive parts that we'll jump right over to.
Scott, if you'll click your resume slideshow icon right there above, now down a little bit. No, down. It's in the window of your slide itself. One more down.
All right, there we go.
There you go. Now skip to the next one. There we go. Yeah, here's our free KD app. As Jonathan would say, free 99. I'll let you chat about that a little bit, Scott.
So on the overall, a lot of people aren't aware of it, but if you just jump to the regular app store, we have our KD app for iOS. We're working on the Android aspect of it right now. We only have an Android app for our BYOD device, but the iOS device, basically this particular unit and this lovely logo on all our products on our website that says KeyDigital App Ready will basically, as long as your iPad and the app is running, it'll scan the network, discover the devices itself. This example itself is showing the 4x4 Pro, and it's going to give us control of that unit.
Yeah, as you can see, it's got the 8 video wall modes that you can choose, or the switcher mode. So you can go into switcher mode to do the 4x4 matrix.
So our HDMI switchers, our AV over IP, everything across the board, including our 4x4 Pro, has the ability to utilize this app. So now you could hand this over to anyone. I got guys utilizing this in bars and a simple bar back, or somebody, a hostess, can go through and control this. It's so simple. You have control over the layout. When you're in the programming portion of the 4x4 Pro, you can actually user-friendly names on this. Right now, it's just showing source 1, source 1, source 1. But we could change this up to the overall displays, the source, so we can ID any of these all for free. And I know our engineering team is working more and more on this to be able to come up with other additional apps for other products.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Scott, if you'll pull back that one slide one more time, that last one, you'll notice it's, the matrix mode. Also, you can choose the video wall audio source within the app here. While it says source 1 here, that's because you're choosing source 1 to go to all 4 screens. If you're in one of the video wall modes, then you would choose which source went to the video wall. If you were in the dual, you choose which one for each of the 2 video walls. So very robust, and MSRP $2,500 on this piece. The app is free, and you're off and running. All you need is a little wireless router to connect to it, and you're gone. You're done. And that is the VW 4x4 Pro from KeyDigital. It's amazing.
The short and sweet version of it. Again, we're hoping Jonathan's having a great time. We're going to wind up highlighting this product again. So this KDLIVE was a little bit of a quick rundown. I hope this gave everybody a little bit more of a heads up on video walls. Just one particular product that we have to support video walls. So
next is our full team, me and Scott there, and there we went. Yeah, Scott and myself, as well as our new account manager, Leon Simberg, and Dwayne Husbands, who is our distribution manager. And then over in Europe and Asia, you got Jorgen and Abhinav. But the easiest way to get to us is just sales@keydigital.com. You can look us up on our website as well on where to buy, and it's got all of our information on there as well. And we want to thank you for your time today. Scott, thank you for running this ship today. And hopefully I don't think we ran aground anywhere, but we did miss Jonathan. That's for sure.
Exactly. As long as we made Jonathan happy, and then Jonathan will be returning next week. Hopefully he's having a good time, but short and sweet for us. And hopefully this was of value to everyone that's watching or watching the replay. And again, like Dwayne mentioned, if you do sales@keydigital.com, that will go through and reach out to all of us. So regardless, we all work as a team so everybody can address any questions, et cetera, moving forward. So we hope everyone has a great day. I've got cooler weather and sun here today in lovely New Jersey. And we're hoping everyone in Houston's still getting hammered with that weather.
Yeah, it's been raining over here. I'm in Oklahoma, and but it's supposed to be letting up later today, so hopefully it will.
All right. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you guys on the next run. Will be Coffee with Key for the same two friendly faces.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.